We next have a speaker who's going to be touching on the perspectives on artificial intelligence. And ladies and gentlemen, he is a personality who obtained his BSc engineering degree with first-class honors in the year 2001 from the Department of Electronic and Telecommunication Engineering, University of Moratuwa, Sri Lanka, and Master of Engineering Science and PhD from the Western University, Canada. And his research interests are in the general area of computer vision and deep learning for vision. And currently he's with the Department of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering, University of Moratuwa, Sri Lanka, as a senior lecturer. And he's a senior member of the Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers, IEEE, United States of America. It's my pleasure inviting Mr. Ranga Rodrigo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sirivardhan and others for inviting me. I was very much inspired by the thoughts given by the other speakers. I want to briefly talk about artificial intelligence and how that can apply in our businesses. See, artificial intelligence is on us, so therefore we have to embrace it. It has many uses through which a business outcome can be delivered. So what I see artificial intelligence is learning representations. That means we look at things, images, text, and so on. As human beings, we understand how to represent them in some format of numbers, and the computers also try to represent them in that fashion. And so therefore, there are many categories in artificial intelligence. The AI overarching arm, then the machine learning, neural networks, and deep learning. We call deep learning when the number of layers are more than 8 and so on. So why is this coming upon us now? Because people understood that research translates to industrial applications because of the invention of these parallel processing platforms, which are the GPUs that we have on our machines. So traditional processors are there, like i9s and so on. Then the GPUs by NVIDIA parallelize all these computations. So especially H100s are there, $30,000 each. We cannot afford them, but we have smaller processors that can do these tasks. So what people understood was, first of all, you compute some sort of features, maybe edges, maybe some words, 5-word combinations and so on. But that was the old paradigm, the classical learning. Then we have the feature learning and the classification, or neural networks come into the picture. This is the paradigm that is working right now. So people discovered, as you can see on the right-hand side bottom, that the neural networks learn patterns that are intelligible to human beings. So they are no longer black boxes, but human beings can also comprehend what these models can actually learn. So there are 3 major areas of application as I see. First of all, computer vision, which I am involved with. So if you think about Tesla's self-driving and the self-driving applications that we have demonstrated over there, those are all computer vision applications. So you can see the VR things and all sorts of things that excite us, and these belong to computer vision and graphics. Secondly, the most important part is actually natural language processing, the second row. If you take large companies like Google and OpenAI, those are natural language processing companies. They take streams of text and understand how to represent them so that the next possible word can be generated by them. So ChatGPT, Bard, and all sorts of things, they do not think for themselves, but they actually generate the next possible word. So that's how they can generate all these things. So you can see public chatbots, negotiators, and so on are the applications of that. Then finally, we have the data science. I think most of you can explain that better than I know, how that can transform businesses. So data is the name of the game. So as organizations, we must try our best to retain our data, whether we have the intention of using them in an artificial intelligence application or not. Now, I want to show you a picture of one of these applications. This is anomaly detection, which is very important for even Sri Lankan industry, garment industry, and other manufacturing industries. So you can see in the second row how they have classified the bad ones and the good ones. For example, in the pill, you can see a dot above the number 500. That's an anomaly that they have been able to classify that. So we also have systems that can do this. And then in the last row, you can see they have identified the defective area. So these are all applications of computer vision, just one application. There are many more. So let's see now what is meant by generative AI. So generative AI means based on the things that you have in your mind, we are able to generate something as human beings. Now the current machine learning systems, deep learning systems also have that capacity now. What they do is based on their computations about existing data, actually the probability of existence of data, they also can generate something. Now that generation we can usefully use for different kinds of things like text generation on the first row. So that's how ChatGPT and so on came into being. So I can see there are two organizations that are displaying how your organization's information can be put into your own computer so that a ChatGPT-like application can help you. Now imagine a situation where all your organization's knowledge is digitized and you can ask a quick question. In what year was the decision made? And who were the people who were instrumental in making that decision? One simple question like that can be answered by an engine like that. Why do you want to have that in our own machine rather than putting that on a cloud? Of course, you know better than I do that we have to be protective of our data. Right? Then data augmentation is also one application, and then music composition and so on, many other applications of generative AI. So let's see one famous application of generative AI, this so-called Mid-Journey. So I think some of you are subscribers to Mid-Journey. I don't have money to be subscribing to Mid-Journey. So these images, these characters, they never existed. They are generations from Mid-Journey, beautiful, beautiful generations. Some of the pictures in my slides are also generated artificially. So one more is a recent publication in CVPR 2023. So we too are working on something like that. If the organizers can play this video, I would appreciate that. Can this be played? Yeah. So here you can see this is just a single camera view, and the characters are three-dimensionally built. So we call this 4D human. So you can imagine the possibilities that are there with a 4D human. That means if you want to dress up a character in a different costume or make an avatar to video by itself using just one single camera, these are now becoming possible. So all these are possible because of generative AI techniques that we have. Yes, it's very recent work, CVPR 2023. So we can move forward. So I thought of just talking about a very simple application where we can use in Sri Lanka even a small organization like a restaurant like this. This is also an AI generated image. Assume that we have the capacity to identify these people who are sitting in the restaurant. And then we are able to identify what food items that they ordered. Of course, we know that already. So we make note of those things. Not only on one day, on every single day, we make a note of things that people ordered. Then all of a sudden, 6 months later, we will have the capacity of answering questions like, what are the stocks that I should have ready for Tuesdays? What would a customer who ordered rice would order next as a dessert? And even more complicated questions like, what would make a customer return? That means even if we have the capacity to do so-called re-identification of customers. And then finally, what menu did the trick? So those are all possibilities. Now, there are some problems also, because high-tech companies still have the command of AI. So like Apple, IBM, Google, Meta, and so on. So what is the solution? I have written that next. Use technologies that enable small businesses to use AI. That means if AI means not coding, just having data, the problem is solved. So this is where we should move. So even small companies can support you in that regard. If data means AI, the problem is solved. That means we don't need AI professionals to code that for you. Then secondly, requirement of massive amounts of data. So people thought that you need massive amounts of data. It is no longer true because of the pre-training that we can do. ChatGPT itself is a pre-trained, generative pre-trained transformer. So like the brain, we hold a lot of data in our mind, then with few amounts of prompting, we would be able to get things done. So that's one paradigm, pre-training our models. The second paradigm is few shot learning. As a human being, if I am shown one picture of a violin, second time I'd be able to identify that. So that's learning by one shot. So it is possible now. These technologies have come into the picture. Then there is another problem. That one is when we try to apply AI, people think that they are going to lose the jobs. This is not true. The truth is actually with AI, our capacity to do more business will improve. That means we have to make synergetic teams with AI inside the team. That's what I wanted to represent in that picture also. The team is discussing with an AI. The AI is brainstorming for you, giving you data and so on. So therefore, it's a synergetic team. So therefore, data plus human judgment is what would drive a future company. So people will not lose jobs because of this phenomena. Then the final one, I don't have a solution. AI professionals are expensive. So that's it. Thank you very much.